All right, boys and girls. One thing that's really important to do when you're watching online lesson videos is to make sure that you pause the video at each step to make sure you understand how to do it. And if you miss something, and make sure that you rewind and go back so you can try it again. All right. And if there's any confusion about any of the steps today, make sure you comment in your Google Classroom or on the YouTube link. All right, so first I'm going to show you my slide for my scavenger hunt. This is what mine looks like. So I made sure that I followed the directions exactly how they were set up. And so my first slide, if I could go anywhere in the world, I went to Acasaba in Malaga, España, Spain. And I chose this place because Acasaba has a lot of history, and I would sit down and enjoy the music playing on the street. It's a really, really cool spot. My favorite place in Montbello, this was a tough one. And so I took a picture of both the Montbello Library and the Boys and Girls Club. Of course, Mr. Clifton's favorite place in the whole world is Magalone Academy. But I wanted to switch things up a little bit and highlight the Boys and Girls Club in the library, because whenever I go there, I see a lot of students playing and having a good time. So I decided to pick the Boys and Girls Club. Again, I always see kids having fun and being active at the club. And what I would do there is I would shoot hoops with my students. All right, and my next place was, the question was, where are your ancestors from? And think about before moving to Colorado. So for this one, I decided to pick Sierra Leone, Freetown, Sierra Leone, which is, Sierra Leone is a country in Africa, and Freetown is a spot where that's historically known for being a slave port. So as you know, like, my father is from Alabama, and in Alabama my family were slaves. So my father a few years ago took a DNA test to find out where his ancestors were from, and Sierra Leone was, through the DNA test, was found to be where our ancestors are from. And so that's what I know. I've never been there, but if I could go there, I would find a museum or a monument where I could learn about the slave trade, learn about the culture there, because most probably that's where my family's from. All right, and then I talked to my wife for this one, and I asked her what her favorite place was and why she loved that place. And she picked Old San Juan. We just went on a trip to Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, a few months ago. And she picked Viejo San Juan because the buildings are really colorful and the people are so friendly. There's a lot of amazing stuff to do there. And what she would do there was that she would go to the El Moro and watch the sunset. This is actually a picture that she took at the Moro, which is a huge fortress by the coast. All right, and then my last slide, my assignment was to pick Voyager, and I'm feeling lucky to find a new exciting place that I wanted to share. And I used the Voyager, and I was researching some folklore stories from around the world. And one place that mission took me was to Chichen Itza. So I chose Chichen Itza because I used Voyager to find an interesting place, and I found Chichen Itza. And what I would do there is I would explore all of the areas around the temple to see what secrets I can find. When I was looking at the map, I noticed that there were a lot of different smaller temples around Chichen Itza, and I'd like to explore those and see what those are all about. So now that I'm done with my presentation, there's a really cool setting in Google Earth where I can now create a project using all the information that I put in my Google Slides. So I'm gonna go back to Google Earth, and over here on the side, you'll see all of your settings. Below Voyager and I'm feeling lucky, you can actually click on this icon and you'll start a project. Cool. So let's start a brand new project, and I'm gonna create it. Click on Create in Google Drive so you can share it later. All right, and this project is going to be my favorite places. You can call it whatever you want, but mine is just going to be called favorite places. All right. Add a description, so when somebody comes to your project, they'll be able to see a summary of what it's all about. So I'm going to type mine in. So I saved that. These are just a few of my favorite places from around the world. What I'm going to do now is click new feature to add some of the elements that were in my presentation. So I'm going to search to add place, and I click up here in my search box. I'm going to type in Boys and Girls Club Montebello. All right, let's fly. That's my favorite part of Google Earth, is just flying to the next place. It's really cool. All right, awesome. I'm already here. The Denver Broncos Boys and Girls Club. I can zoom in a little bit. You can see the libraries here, everything. What I want to do is go to my settings, make sure my photos are on. So I have clicked on my place, clicked on the Boys and Girls Club, and now I can see this icon down here that just says add to project. I'm gonna add that to the project. Cool. All right. And now what I can do is I can save it, or I can edit the place, and I can change the color of my place mark. It's the Denver Broncos Boys and Girls Club, so I'm going to change it to orange. So when I click on Denver Broncos Boys and Girls Club, there's already a description. But what I want you to do is replace the description with your own paragraph that you wrote, your own 2 to 3 sentences that you wrote about that place in your presentation. So up here where it says replace, I'm going to replace it. I can also add any type of photo that I want. So I'm going to click this plus button here to add a photo, and I'm going to type in Denver Broncos Boys and Girls Club Montebello. All right, let's see what comes up. Cool. So we have some cool pictures here. So I'm just gonna click the first picture there and add it to my presentation. Okay. The next step is I need to add a quick description. So I'm gonna use the description that I created in my slide. So I'm gonna go back to my slide presentation, and I'm going to copy and paste what I wrote about this place. So I chose the Boys and Girls Club. Remember, use 2 fingers to click on your Chromebook to copy, or Control-C. Cool. Now I'm going to go back to Google Earth, and I'm going to paste it there. I can click again, use 2 fingers to click and hit paste, or I can hit Control-V. All right, cool. So I have the first part of my sentence. I want to get the second part in too. Everything saves automatically once I start editing it, so we're good to go. I can also add more pictures if I want. I can type more. I can change the text style of the way my letters look, all sorts of things like that. I can even link in there something at the Boys and Girls Club or the Boys and Girls Club website. I can link it there so people can get there fast. There's a lot of other tools that you can use. Okay, but for right now, we're gonna preview presentation, and this is what you'll see. As you can see, you have your picture up there. That's the picture you chose, and then you have your short paragraph about why you chose the Boys and Girls Club. So in order to go back and add more, I'm just gonna click the back button, and I'm still in my favorite places project, and now I can click a new feature and search for another place. Cool. So what I want you to do is explore today and the next couple of days. Explore and create your project that links to your presentation. One thing that really helped me to learn about how to use these tools, as I'm still learning how to use it, is to go to the tutorial. There's a video tutorial which will show you how to add different types of features, how to add, like different shapes, or you can send people to Street View so they can see. All right, Lobo. So I finished my project. It was a lot of fun. trying to pick the images and pick the places that I wanted to take everyone on our journey to Mr. Clifton's favorite places. So when you click on your project, you can then go to the present slide to see what it looks like. So the first place that we're going to go is the Alcazaba. You can see my description here on the side. It shows this place because the Alcazaba has a lot of history. I'll sit down and enjoy the music playing on the street. So the Alcazaba is just this huge fort, and I can use these arrows to explore more of the Alcazaba. Cool. And the areas around. Cool. All right. So to go to the next one, down here in the table of contents, just click the next arrow. All right, let's see where we're going next. All right, so we're actually at City Park. City Park is one of my favorite parks to visit in Denver. It's really close to my house, and I love running or walking around the lake. And the next spot is the Martin Luther King Memorial at City Park. I love that spot because at the Parade, the Martin Luther King Parade, every January, that's where we start our march down to the Capitol building. All right, this next place, we're going to Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. And you can see my description that I wrote there. My wife picked Viejo San Juan because the buildings are really colorful and the people are so friendly. So in this picture right here, you have La Perla. So if any of you have seen the music video Despacito, that music video was shot right here in La Perla. Cool. All right, and if you kind of explore around this area, mess around with your 3D view, you'll see that there's this huge place called El Morro, and we really enjoyed going to El Morro and watching the sunset. So all right, so our next spot, let's see what it is. Looks like we're going to Freetown, Sierra Leone. So this place, I didn't know exactly what a specific place to go because I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Sierra Leone or Freetown. And so in this place, I just had a really good time exploring and looking at photos and different places in the city. So I chose this place again because my family comes from this part of the world before slavery. And I would try to find a museum or some sort of monument where I can learn about the slave trade. Cool. All right, and our last place, oh man, I'm gonna call this El Castillo or Chichen Itza. And so I used Voyager to find this place and found Chichen Itza. And I would explore all of the areas around in order to find all the secrets I can find. Because when I go down to Street View, down here, let's go right up to the temple. Cool. It looks flat and then it's like boom, it's all huge. Cool. So we're right at the steps of the temple there. If I look around and I kind of walk around and everything, I see all these like other temples around, other monuments around. So I want to check those out. Also, I noticed that there's a lot of people like selling things. So I'd like to check out some really awesome crafts and see what I can find there. All right. So that's my project. Those are my Mr. Clifton's favorite places. A couple of them I haven't been to and I just explored using Google Earth, but other places I know very well, and I was excited to share them with you and with the world. All right, now that my project is done, my next step is to share it with my class so everybody can see where my favorite places are. Okay, so I'm gonna go up here to the top, still in Mr. Clifton's favorite places. I'm gonna click the share button to add people. And I'm actually going to get a shareable link. Cool. So anyone at Denver Public Schools with the link can view. Cool. So I'm going to copy that link. Then I'm going to go back into my slide. And I'm going to go on my first slide. And I'm going to insert the link making it a hyperlink. We've done this in class before, so this might be a review for you. Cool. So I'm going to create a text box. And I'm going to write, check out my Google Earth project. All right, so now I've written that. You can write whatever you want, really, but I just want to say, check out my Google Earth project. I'm gonna highlight the whole thing. Cool. Now I'm gonna use 2 fingers to click, and I'm gonna click link. Cool. Now I'm gonna use 2 fingers again to click so I can paste the link that I copied earlier. And paste. Now I hit apply. Now, anytime anybody comes to my presentation, they can click on that link and then go straight to Mr. Clifton's favorite places. All right, awesome. Now you're there. So you'll be able to see all my favorite places. So, all right, boys and girls, that's how you create a project in Google Earth. I hope you have a blast making your presentations beautiful and fun, so that everybody can share and explore this world. All right, make sure that you're using your Google Classroom, that you're uploading your work there, and also using your Seesaw to share any part of your story that you want to share. All right, be sure to add the link into your Google Classroom presentation, and have a great time and enjoy. Peace. See you until next time.